Welcome to UnFiltered, presented by GMOY Radio and also presented by Street Smart Society. Check them out if you need any graphic art or graphic design or video editing. Please check out Street Smart Society. But again, I'm your host, Jay Skyline, my co-host, James, or Ann James to some of y'all. And we're going to start it off with some personal stuff. So, driving to the we were going to go pick up Malachi, our behind the guy that does all our editing and all our video stuff for us, and the host of the Detour Show. And I'm on the phone with him trying to figure out where he's at in East Liberty, like halfway down the block. And there's this guy behind us honking at us while we really can't move. So at this point, I'm pissed off. Ann James is out here driving. I get my buddy out the car, yell at this dude, and he like drives around us and frantic. Saying that, after it's all said and done, I was like, yo, James, you're lucky you had the bat in the car because I'd have got out with the bat. James decided to make the idea that he's putting a wooden sword that's, like, I don't know, that's about two and a half feet long. So this is like a training sword if you were like trying to learn like sword, whatever. I don't know. Sword fighting skills. Yeah, so I understand all the reason of the sword. Yeah. I don't understand why you think the sword is better than the baseball bat. That's where this argument's gonna go. I'm just not going like, and then like he's like, I'm out here going out practicing baseball. No. You understand what sounds more realistic? A grown man going to a batting cage over a grown man planning on learning how to sword. Like, is it that time of year where they have the medieval fair or whatever they call it? No, that's over in the summer. Usually they do that earlier. I think that's plus the. Are you LARPing? For y'all that don't know what LARPing is live action role play. No. No, I'm not. No, if it's gonna be live action ass whooping, that's what it would be. So you're LARPing. Just tell the truth. You're getting ready for Techo next year. No. Don't they have like a competition on that in Techo? I'm too sure. That's beside the point. My ultimate car weapon is the bat. The bat. Now, like I said, this is going to be like a poll later on, but I want to know, would you rather have the wooden sword or the wooden/aluminum bat? I'm an aluminum person because I want you to know that I want you on. If I get out the car, you really got me. Next week, we will get visuals of this because you can go ahead and be like, okay, James has this sword, and then, I need to see this. I have a bat too, and I have a metal. I'm like, all right, now if somebody brings out an aluminum bat, like, I'm not gonna. That's attempted murder. I will admit that. But like, still, that's not really fair. No, but that's not the point. If you pissed me off in a car to the point that I pulled out the bat, nothing fair was about to happen. Yeah. Like that's how I don't understand the people when it comes to the chivalry shit when it comes to fights. If you got me, if I'm a grown ass man and you got me to the point that I want to hurt you, nothing is fair. Nothing is fair. Swear to God. Like I don't care if I get out the car and you get out the car and I notice you 350 pounds. Guess what? You're getting kicked in the nuts and you're going down to 250. So like I'm sorry. Like you can say whatever you want. I'm not gonna shoot nobody, but I'm also not getting my ass kicked. This is what it is. Yeah. So if you want to beat me, come prepared for the fight of your life. Not this fair fight, bully day, knuckles up type shit. Like no, I'm out here to scrap. Yo. This is by any means necessary. So yeah, like please understand that. Like this is not about fair fights to me. If I got out the car with a bat, we weren't ever fighting. We weren't. Like when we go to the courtroom, they're gonna say this was an assault with a deadly weapon. This was never a fist fight. Like, and the same thing with your wooden bat. You come out first thing. The difference is if I pull out, this might be where you get the point. If I come out with a bat, they know that I'm still a mentally normal person because I had a bat. They're gonna take you to Western Psych. Oh come on, no. You came out with a wooden fucking sword. I came out here prepared, and none of the cops are trying to hear that LARPing shit. I'm like, I would be at this point. I would have to have like, if I'm gonna be like pulling this out, I would have to like have a decent alibi. Yeah, like not a decent alibi, a full alibi. Somebody else is gonna have to be able to say why you have this sword. I would have to. Somebody, not me, because they're not gonna believe me because I'm gonna be skeptical as hell. Like, wait, he really did that? Yeah, I kind of knew about the sword, but I never agreed with it. Like, I don't even know how I'd be your alibi. But I'm just saying, like, if it was in the back of the car. And you wanted to go ahead and beat somebody, would you use that? If it was the only thing I had? Like, this is it starts off a baseball bat, and then, like, I would probably merge between lacrosse and hockey stick, because I would probably use those before your sword, too. Lacrosse sticks are real. I ain't noticed what a lacrosse stick could do.
That could be good. I bet who's out here having a lacrosse stick like that? I have a
Caucasian America in like the suburbs. There are tons of people out here with lacrosse. But they trying to get me to play lacrosse.
All right, you have a lacrosse stick?
No, but I buy a lacrosse stick before I buy a wooden
sword. So this is about going out to buy one. All right, just okay.
Oh, you made your wooden sword?
No, I have. No, I bought that one.
Then that's what I'm talking about. The things I will buy before I buy a wooden sword to fight people in car disputes. So you might catch me on Amazon trying to buy an actual baton, like a police baton. Catch me out like, how pissed somebody be if they get beat up by somebody.
What about nunchucks?
No, because then you got to really learn.
It's
like every video I've ever seen of somebody that doesn't know how to use nunchucks always ends up with them either getting hit in the nuts or the nose.
Yeah, they usually self-injured on that end. Yeah. So something like if you knew what you were doing.
Oh, if I knew how to use nunchucks, my nunchucks would be the first weapon every time. Like I don't even understand that question. If you know how to use nunchucks, you should have nunchucks on you everywhere you go. That's all. Like because you're the only dude. Like that. That's a completely unique situation. Yes, if I knew how to use nunchucks, that would be the first weapon I had.
That'd be
on everything.
Go-to.
What else are you gonna do this with? If I know how to use the nunchucks, it's my go-to. There's like other things. I'm trying to think of other things that would be the go-to. If I knew how to use a lasso.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be that obscure, about it, yeah.
If you want to go ahead and all right, that'd be like an interesting way to take somebody out.
I'm trying to think of other way, like a spear. If I know how to chuck a spear at something, yeah, they wouldn't know what it's for. Yeah, but if I knew how to use a spear like that, bow and arrows or crossbows, like all that shit would be clutch stuff if I knew how to use them. Why do you think everybody's shooting guns? Because this is the first thing these niggas learn how to use. Just keeping it real on that. But yeah, like swear to God, if I knew how to use a crossbow, I'd be walking around with a crossbow on my back. Just things that. I mean, you understand that though.
Yeah.
Obviously you do because you're out here using a sword just to use a sword.
I'm not just trying to just use the sword. It's like I would rather prefer. I feel like that would be a better swinging motion over a bat. I feel like the bat is like. Well, I feel like those are the kneecap. Like that's like what you take kneecaps out with.
Knee or head, man.
The knee or the head. Yeah. Well,
unless you leave your ribs open.
If you leave the ribs open.
But no, it's a knee hit. If I'm like furious, like if I already had a bad day before you piss me off, I'm going for your head.
I feel like I feel like if it was like a wooden sword versus the bat, I would have better countering. I feel like I would, but that's just me.
All right, before we go any further, if we understand that if this is a true scenario, that 1 or 2 hits is all it takes. Yeah. So no matter what, you're like, I can get a counter. You better hope that you dodge the first hit. What the fuck do you mean? Like, I'm not worried about counters when it's a bat versus a sword. Whatever, like either way, I need the first hit. I don't care if I got the bat or the sword.
Yeah. Whoever gets the first hit, you pretty much got this.
So yeah, that's always the issue. I was like, this is like these battles are not battles of what they call it, nutrition. This is not about nutrition. Like this is gonna be quick. Yeah. 2-minute warning type shit. And yes, I know all y'all wondering, isn't this a music and sports show? Sword fighting is still technically a sport, and a baseball bat is a baseball bat.
He had.
So it is. It has sports related stuff going on here.
It's Thursday random shit.
And this happened today. Like I said, this is something that happened all because I wanted to beat somebody with a baseball bat because they were honking at him, and he didn't have the sword in the car.
I think I feel like. Driving people don't really have patience, and that guy really didn't have any patience on that end.
And he could have got his ass beat.
There was nowhere to go. That's all I'm saying. There was nowhere.
Oh no, there was nowhere to go. That was the whole point of this. And he could have got his ass beat in non-moving traffic. I would have been fine with that. If it wasn't for the fact that I was afraid he was about to move, I was getting out the car.
I was like, wait. I was like, you said you might be. I didn't think you really were.
Did you? I think at this point, I would have got out the car.
Yeah.
Okay then. Which I think that's the reason why dude drove around us, because as soon as I got my body out the car, he like drove around. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like, back onto the sports side. Cam Newton's in some big ass trouble today. That's one of your favorite players.
Yeah, he's cool, but not today.
He's losing sponsorships. The team has to answer for his remarks, all because he couldn't take a female reporter's question seriously because it was a female reporter.
Because he's like, I'd never heard a girl talk about routes before like that.
Which I think, again, if this was 1985, this would make sense.
Maybe. I feel like you can give like maybe a little bit of credit, maybe like 70s. I don't know.
Maybe, but like still, it's 2017.
Yeah, that's right there, almost 40 years ago.
I'm not saying this is okay, but I'd be more okay if there was like a openly gay man, like glitter and shit on his face, asked him that question, and he was worried about like, oh, I never got this question asked by like an openly gay man like this before. It'd be more normal because this is new compared to women asking you questions. When women have been asking you questions,
something like that? Would you say that like out loud like that?
No, I wouldn't say any of this shit out loud. No, this is all offensive as shit. You mean say that out loud like that? No. He should have kept it to himself in the first place. He should have answered that woman's question.
Just answer the question and just keep it going.
Yes, and if you want to talk about it in the locker room with your boys later, fine.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I never. Like...
And again, he laughed at her face.
Yeah, a little disrespectful on that end.
And again, I think from watching the video, some think that he might have been trying to flirt with her. Even if that was the case, it's not the time or the place.
No.
You're on camera. There's a whole room of people trying to do their job, and you're over here trying to swerve.
I mean, you could take it anyway. I mean, there's people like Marshawn Lynch that doesn't even answer questions.
But we know going into it with Marshawn Lynch, he ain't gonna answer no questions. Yeah. Like the only reason that reporters go to Marshawn Lynch interviews is because they'll get fired if he does say something.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that he'll say something. It's a guarantee like, well, if he does say something and my boss finds out I wasn't there, over. I'll be doing reports on bakeries the rest of my career. Best pastry in town.
Best.
That's what happens when you fuck up sports stories. Like you go from the sports stories and like weather are the two highest things you can do outside of being like the guy to go out and look at homicides.
Yeah.
And then after you get knocked down, you're like, well, you do the competitions, like the best in the city. Or you end up going out to like the farm where they're having their calf and they're reporting on a farm, a cow being born.
This is like so degrading. You're just like giving.
No, that's what happens with the news, bro. The reason I stopped watching the news it's either sports in this city, it's either sports or murder, or they go out and find the most random story that has nothing to do with my life.
They do like the wildest switch up. They'd be like 10 people shot this area. And then they'll be like, well,
come down to the great race, guys.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what? We're just talking about this, like, big shooting. And then now you're just talking about like this race, or like even like, it'll switch up to like, oh, there's a big adoption going for, for these animals over on the north side, Animal Friends or something. They'll do something like, it'll be like, whoa, like that's a big switch up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like that. Like he's like completely like crushed with like disappointment, like what's going on in the city, and then you're like, oh, like this is cool because there's this going on. Like, not really. I don't like that's how news. I don't really like news like that.
I mean, I do like hearing news about shit I would never heard about. Like I think right now in the city is what is it, the R days, the days when like every day there's a free thing through the city. I forget what it's called. I know it starts with an R.
Oh.
It's like a week where like the first thing is like the museums are free. The second day the zoo's free.
Is it Red Ribbon Week?
Is that what they call it?
No, that's like the Drug Awareness Week. But I think it was last week for the kids.
My point is, I am interested. That's like the only thing about the news that interests me is when they tell me about stuff going on in the city that I would have never heard of.
The R words.
Like I said, it's about a week and a half where a bunch of the city's organizations, like the stadium does it, Hinesville gets out free tours on one of the days.
Yeah.
So it's like every location does a free thing for one day.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And they do it every year. It's all like end of September, early
that's
October.
Important to know.
Yeah, and as I said, I can deal with that, and I can deal with the crime. I just don't need to hear it all the time.
No. Yeah.
And they pick and choose what parts of the city they say stuff happens.
Yeah, because there's like wild things will be happening in like sections where they don't ever report,
Yeah.
You just want to keep it under wrap.
Yeah. So no, that's all my whole thing with the city and that stuff. So but yeah, like I said, Cam Newton probably ain't gonna be a good I guess promotional season for him. Hey, they won their last game. That should be all that matters, low key.
Because they beat the Patriots?
Somewhat.
So if they lose to whoever they verse this week, Yes. It don't matter.
And instead of doing what Cam Newton does and putting women down, we're going to put them up and talk about Miss Maya Moore today. Maya Moore and the Minnesota Lynx won the WNBA championship yesterday. And for Maya Moore, this would be her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th title of her life.
Damn.
She's been winning all since high school. She won 3 state titles in high school, 2 national titles in college, and now she has her 4th WNBA championship.
Damn.
In all legitimate cases, if we take gender out of the case, she might be the most dominant athlete we've seen in this generation. Like when it comes to any sport, she's been dominating her sport since high school. And it's not like she played in like Idaho. She played in Georgia, where like every sister, I'm assuming, is trying to ball. So yeah, like she's been balling. She went to Connecticut, balled for 2 years. I think one of her teams went undefeated, if not both. So yeah, shout out to Maya Moore. Like I said, this is definitely if an NBA player did this, they'd be trying to call him the next Jordan. Just saying that. Like, so we might as well hype her up the same way. She got 4 titles. She's on her way. She needs to go up and get that 6, so she needs 2 more. Shit, and this pace, she'll get Bill Russell numbers. Swear to God. So again,
do they have a salary cap in the WNBA? I don't know, like that. Like
yes.
The salary, like okay.
But it probably doesn't matter.
Okay. Because they can just give her whatever.
Basically. So yeah, again.
I mean, yeah, no, if you're getting all these titles and this is who you are, no, you deserve the money. That's what I'm saying. No. So
also, I would like to send a shout out to Charles Slum. He just dropped a new single with George Hollow called Bands. Go peep that out on SoundCloud. SoundCloud today. Came out earlier today, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, the day before, and it's pretty good. He'll be having a visual out soon, so he might have that on YouTube or something. So we'll be checking that out, and we'll be keeping you guys posted with that.
Keep you posted. I got an update for you guys on the NCAA violations for the basketball teams. It looks like Shaquille O'Neal's son is going to be involved in this. His son, 19 years old, 6'9", Sharif O'Neal, looks like he'll be decommitting from Arizona. At this point, Arizona's basically lost an entire draft class. Arizona was one of the main teams put in this for the investigation of everybody paying people to get players to go to Adidas or go to certain managers. So at this point, Arizona's looking at losing 4 5-star recruits. That's a whole starting lineup, including Sharif O'Neal. And the big thing about Sharif O'Neal is, if you know about Arizona, Arizona's mascot name is the Wildcats. He's going to keep the name. He's just going to switch to college, but the college he's going to is going to have the same name. What other team got Wildcats? He's going from the Arizona Wildcats to the Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh,
he might have actually upgraded, but yeah. So
Kentucky's not that bad.
Shout out to Coach Cal, Pittsburgh on. Like I said, definitely shout out to Coach Cal. A lot of y'all hate on him, but hey, out of all the teams that got indicted about this, Kentucky's clean. Just think about that. Kentucky has not had any problems. Louisville has problems, and they're down the street.
Yeah.
So, like I said, definitely double check and think about that. And also, I'm really interested in see how Shaq's son does with basketball, because he don't look like Shaq at all.
He don't even look like him. That's not his son.
I ain't say all that.
Maybe.
I did not say all that.
I will have to see his gameplay. Maybe he'll do the same Shaq play.
He's a legitimate 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Like, I think Michael Jordan's son, when he was in college, he was a 3-star recruit. Michael Jordan's son ended up going to UCF. That's not a good basketball school.
No.
That's the same school that Blake Bortles went to for football. Just thinking a bit like that. So
maybe he just wanted to do that just to break records. That's what they all think. Go to a school just to break records.
I feel like that's petty.
It is, but it's better. You can go to a school that has records that you know for a fact you'll never break. But if you go to a school that you can break them, just to have your name on it, and you'd be the person that came out of that state.
I feel like that's like an easy excuse to be able to get laid on campus the rest of your life, is to go to the place where you can break records easily.
But
I swear to God,
you're just gonna be that dude that's mad at him then.
Yeah, Jordan Jefferson.
Yeah.
That's always what I think of when I think of Jordan Jefferson. Is he's the guy that goes back and rents the apartment just outside of campus, but always got the alcohol.
Yeah.
Like it's just outside of campus, so the campus police can't really fuck with him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's what I think.
Just right.
And that's what I think of you if you chose a small college to go break all the records. So you're basically like, I ain't going to the league, but I'm good enough to smash all these white kids' records. Like, you go to Hoosiers.
Hoosiers?
Whatever in university that was. Was it Indiana? Yeah, it was Indiana. Good. Well, now that's not possible. Like what? Like Gonzaga. Gonzaga would be the new Hoosiers. It's just a bunch of burly white dudes that know how to rebound and get good shots. Be the first Negro to go up there and break all their records. And it's in Washington State, so it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's usually good, but that's a good. Sometimes they're pretty decent teams.
They've only been good for about 10 years, so there's still records to be broken.
So we need them We need them broken then. Could we start?
Again, I just don't see. It would just be weird. It'll be weird to me. Again, I just wouldn't want to dedicate my whole life to that. I would rather go to Duke or USC and attempt to beat those records than to be like, well, I went to Middle Tennessee State and I broke all of Middle Tennessee State's records, but nobody knows where Middle Tennessee is. But it might be somewhere in the middle of Tennessee.
All right, so what if you're like, okay, the running back for your team in high school, but you guys make it the states, or maybe like 6th or 7th ranked out of states. So you are still good, but you're still not being looked at maybe the best. Maybe going for that small school.
You weren't given a choice. I'm saying if you say you got scholarships, and your scholarships were Slippery Rock, Youngstown State, Akron, and Pitt. You're telling me you're going to pick any of the other three because you could break the records at the other three schools really easily, or go to Pitt because you know that's going to be the place where you'll get the most shot.
I wouldn't want to play on Pitt.
So you're telling me you're picking Youngstown State?
If I was that good, well, I'm not gonna know. That's too small of a school like that. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I could like live up in Akron like that either. I'm like Malachi when it comes down to
Okay. I'll switch up the entire analogy. That's fine. That is completely fine. So we're talking like Savannah State. That's Georgia. That's like Division III. Let's say Delaware, because that's Division II, even though it's the University of Delaware, it's not a major school. UMass, because we was talking about that the other day, UMass. And then the major school will be Marquette or Georgetown. Let's do Georgetown.
Georgetown.
So you're not going to go to Georgetown.
No.
And you're going to pick one of the other three schools I told you.
I think I'll go down to Savannah State. I could do a D3 like that.
So you're going to Charleston, South Carolina, or no, Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. I'll be cool with that.
I'm going to Georgetown.
What?
I'm going to Georgetown.
You're going to Georgetown?
Yes, I'm going to the school where AI balled. Yes, I'm going to Georgetown. Like I don't see the prestige in breaking a bunch of records at a college. First thing, you know how I feel about colleges that got the word state in it, and it's not a state. So that would have been my first thing. If you come to me and like, yeah, I coach at Fresno State, you're already out. What do you mean? Is there a state? What's the state of Fresno? Where's your capital?
I don't remember that in the 50.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing I'll say. Like, I don't remember that in the 56.
I know Puerto Rico ain't a state, but so I know you didn't say Puerto Rico, so
I would be fine with the University of Puerto Rico, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be cool with that. I would be like, I'll accept that.
Like, I hate the fact that there's an East Carolina University.
East Carolina University.
There's an Eastern Carolina University. There's also a Western Carolina University. Huh?
But there's like East.
Except those are actual states.
Yeah. was on that state called North and South.
What's the other ones? I remember I had to trump my one boy. My one boy hit me with I don't like colleges that have directionals. And I was like, well, what about USC? It's like, that doesn't count. What do you mean USC doesn't count? It's the University of Southern California.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the name.
Because it turned into an acronym, like the 3 letters. It's just like, oh. That's cool. It's USC. It's not University of Southern California, even though
or even UCLA. It's a University of Central Los Angeles. That's a real specific title.
Yeah, that's like a real.
Like it's not even all of Los Angeles. We just rock with Central.
We just
Los
like we don't
Angeles.
fuck with the West, the East, North, or South. We just ourselves. We the Central.
So yeah, like I said, I think of stuff like that. I know it's petty. Like I'm extremely petty when it comes to my college sports, but I think like that.
That's like you feel like that overall is affected like to like what's seen like played and what like decided for going to colleges. You know, like I'm not going to go to this small school.
No. We're out here thinking because we didn't get this chance of the things that we would think of in hindsight if we actually had the chance. In real life, if these are one of these players that have known for 2 or 3 years, they're going to Division I college, classes that they care about, are they going to have to go to all of them? And the bitches. I honestly believe that's why Pitt loses to Penn State. Because Penn State got parties. Pitt has book clubs.
I feel like Pitt just like has that like because CMU is right next door and like CMU has that like
there's all women's school next door too. All women's school.
Is that still all women's school?
If it's not, it's mostly women's because it's only been like 3
It
years
used
since they
to
started
be.
letting dudes in.
Yeah. I think Carlo just started. I think, but I could be mistaken.
So yeah, no, like it's a definitely when it comes to real people going to college that are going off of full scholarships and don't plan on graduating. Yeah, it's about the bitches and about how easy it will be able to get out of going to class.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like Pitt has it too. I don't know.
Ooh, breaking news! This is some bad news, folks. Former Pitt Panther, Clareton wide receiver, and current Cincinnati Bengal Tyler Boyd is facing drug charges. That's a bad one right there. That was one of the. He was basically, if he wasn't going to get the Larry Fitz status, he was going to get the Charlie Batch status in the league in the city.
Okay, Charlie Batch. Okay, that's pretty.
Because he wasn't really doing much. Ooh, this is even worse. Okay, so wide receiver Tyler Boyd is facing drug charges after a July car crash, where I'm assuming they found stuff in the car crash. Oh, shout out. He crashed his Mercedes-Benz out on the guardrail on State Route 837 near Valley Hotel in Jefferson Hills, a.k.a. Yeah, that's like, you know exactly where that is. Yeah, that's like down the block from both of our cribs. So like, we know exactly where that is.
Why? Why are you down there?
Yeah, that's because he stop going back to Clareton. Unless you're going to the high school to like uplift the kids, stop going back to Clareton, bro. There ain't no reason to be in Clareton. Sorry, like you got cash now. Don't go back up there. Send one of your boys back. If your auntie needs some cash, tell your homie, yo, slap my auntie this couple stacks real quick. I can't go up there. So they're saying that what he found. Oh, see, now he just fucked up the game for everybody. So they said they found an open bottle of cognac and an unopened bottle of peach vodka. In the glove box says they also found vape pens with packaging indicating it was distilled cannabis, aka cannabis oil. So he fucking up the game on that level. Officers say he had a marijuana leaf depicted on the package. So he's going down, man. Officers went to Boyd's Clareton address. This nigga still got a Clareton address. Nigga, at least move to Jefferson Hills. It's right across the street.
You can live in West Jefferson. That's the best side. You can go to even Pleasant Hills. Like if you don't even want to pay any money or whatever, I don't know. You could just I wouldn't say actually no. If he's from Pittsburgh and he is Pittsburgh, he would never get a place in Cincinnati like that. He might rent or be like somebody's spot on their couch, but I would never live in there. Like willingly have changed my address like that.
I don't. The Cincinnati part ain't the part. The part is you got your advance. The crib in Clareton is sold.
Yeah, you that's sold. That's gone. And
y'all can be mad as y'all want to be about me saying like get up and get out the hood. It's like I'm sorry, man. Like you can rebuild the hood and not live in the hood. It's an option.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. On the other side, he lied to the police. He tried to tell the police that his homie, Amarni Ford, was driving the car and that he was in Shady Side when the crash happened. Which makes no sense.
Wait, so he was on Shady Side.
Then later, Boyd admitted that the vape pens were his, so he got charged for possession of THC and not being registered to have a controlled substance, which reminds y'all that if you get the right licenses, you can have any drug you want. You just got to have the registration to have it, which he didn't have it. The Cincinnati Bengals are aware of this, and he will probably be suspended sometime before the end of the season.
This season, or you think they'll affect him next
This ain't no Ezekiel Elliott situation. He's not that popular. They'll suspend him in the middle of the season if they want to.
Plus, they're not doing anything anyways.
They won this weekend. I'm not. Why you? Okay, fuck. Okay, they beat the Browns. I get it.
Yeah, I would have been like, if the Browns beat them, I would have been like making a bigger deal. But
that's
no.
fucked up. They both had no wins. That was
what's
first...
fucked up is he said that team was a playoff team. It was.
Which one are we talking about?
Bengals. They were a playoff contender. You have the same weapons you have. They should be going to the playoffs. I don't know what's happening. I think.
Wait, what do you consider same weapons?
AJ Green.
That's one weapon.
And Giovanni Bernard is like.
He's not even the starting running.
He's like they like intermix, but they run enough that they've been doing. They're still doing the same running scheme that they've been doing the last 5 years, even longer.
Probably.
So and then and you still have the same goddamn coach. That's the reason.
Oh, they need to fire him. I already know how I feel about Marvin Lewis. But it's just like Dave Chappelle said, you just keep on getting these niggas money. And I don't even know why at this point. And to me, at this point, if Marvin Lewis wanted to be the coach, he needed to go a year without no salary and prove to me he could win.
Yeah.
Update on the Las Vegas situation. The NRA, in a surprising and unprecedented move, will be asking for regulations on bump stocks. From what I understand, a bump stock is what makes a semi-automatic weapon and can turn it into an automatic weapon. So the NRA is going to be on the front of this and try to let people know we don't want this to be legal. We want our stuff, the rifles, the handguns, to be legal, which is a strategic move. The NRA doesn't want the government taking away or making it harder to get guns. So they'd rather make it harder for you to be able to get the guns that are illegal, which
like those like AK-47s that you could probably like just fuck around with and you can make it automatic.
Yeah.
So but you're still able to have the pump shotgun or just a single or maybe just a double barrel or just a normal rifle.
The only things that are legal are automatic weapons and like high and it's a class grading, but basically like explosive rounds.
You can have the rounds you can't have.
Yeah.
But you can have you could have like a rocket launcher. You can have it.
But you couldn't own the actual.
You couldn't have you can have the you could probably buy a dud. You could buy a dud grenade. You buy the dud maybe a explosive round.
Updated news, and this is also going to cut our fucking segment short. Apparently, Rob Gronkowski is probably not going to play tonight, which I have some stuff I need to switch. So that is that's some big news. On the last thing before we go on our first break, for y'all niggas that ain't got no jobs, I got an update for y'all. Giant Eagles looking to hire 500 employees in the Pittsburgh area. If you ain't got a job by the end of the month, you ain't looking. And it's not even McDonald's.
If you're not one of those 500 people, I believe it's someplace, what is it? Oh, shit.
You can't be shouting stuff out and not know.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. It was someplace that, is it Applebee's? It has $1 margaritas. You could just.
The hell does it? It's not about
so y'all
job.
y'all can get fucked up because y'all didn't get the job.
And he's right. For the month of October, Applebee's is selling $1 margaritas. I read about that too. It has nothing to do with people being.
If y'all aren't one of the 500, you weren't just one of the 500 that made the cut. I'm sorry.
Let me rephrase that. If you were one of the 500 that get the job, go celebrate with $1 margarita. Don't listen to him because that nigga's going to have you broke without no rent. I don't even understand where your transition was. You thought my transition
was one. You only need to buy one because you're just kind of like, didn't get the job.
Remember,
it's only $1.
GM WW Radio on IG and Twitter. GM WW Radio at gmail.com for the music. And we are presented by Street Smart Society. That's why I got to look at shit. Street Smart Society for your graphic art, graphic design, and editing video needs. Please, we'll be right back with Unfiltered on GM Worldwide Radio.